Well, good day. Happy Friday for those of you who are in Friday. And for those of you who are already in the future on Saturday, welcome to Ask Doc Live. We are so excited to have you here. And Dr. Wallach, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are we doing?
We are doing absolutely fabulous today. It is for us Friday, which is one of my favorite days of the week. I love them all. I don't have a specific one, but yeah, so I just want to welcome everybody here who is joining us, Dr. Wallach. And I shouldn't have to say this, but I do want to say this. We want to make sure that this is a safe place for everybody, okay? This is a family-friendly environment. So if you are joining us, please make sure you have all your clothes on. If you don't, please turn your camera off and don't keep trying to turn it back on. I shouldn't have to say this, right? We're all adults, but I do want to keep this a family-friendly event. And also, if you are invited by somebody specific, make sure that you get back with them and thank them for sharing this program with you. My name is Becca Dukes, and I am the hostess. Dr. Wallach corrected me last week. I am the hostess of Ask Doc Live, and today is actually Ask Vet Live. So today, if you have your pet questions, make sure that you raise your hand, okay? Let's make sure that we get those questions answered because our pets are part of our family. They bring life and love to our lives, and that is so very important. I know my little guy misses his pups very much when they're not around, and I do as well. So we just want to make sure that we keep them healthy and keep them around for as long as the good Lord will have them here with us. I do want to say that this program is sponsored by Ask Doc Live, and we are here as a resource to you to make sure that you're getting the information that you can actually utilize on your own without somebody giving you permission to, unless you ask your doctor if you can have tomatoes and if you can have broccoli, asparagus, apples, oranges, you know, all of those things. We want to make sure that we're giving information that is going to benefit life, that is going to nourish the cells throughout the body. And when our food supply isn't doing it for us, we must be intentional. Now, it's such a great day. 2023. I can't believe we are in the new year already. And I want to welcome you. So there is no solicitation, but if you're on live with us, make sure that you turn that chat function on, because our co-hosts, Nasima Omar, Ruth Ellen Sanchez, and Heather Bowen, they are going to be putting information in that chat to help you find information that you need to get back with the person that shared this program with you, or a reply to the email invitation that you received if you're part of our newsletter subscription base. If you're not part of our newsletter subscription base and would like to be, make sure that you go to our website and sign up, all right? The content of this program is to provide nutritional information only on the importance of intentional supplementation and nutrition. The food supplies around the world, as I mentioned, are empty and void of what the body needs, not just to survive, but actually thrive. And in this program, we will be sharing nutritional options that are available to fill the gaps through supplementation in a form that the body can readily absorb and utilize. The statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, and the products discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, and the information contained on this Zoom is for informational purposes only. As empowered individuals, folks, you can take information and use it as you wish. And if you are pregnant, nursing, or taking medications, please consult your healthcare professional before starting on any program, whether it's supplemental or dietary eating. Again, back to ask your doctor if you can eat a tomato. But our good doctor, Dr. Joel Wallach, has been instrumental in suing this wonderful establishment of the Federal Drug Administration 9 times with victories. And these victories have led to the addition of vital nutrients added to foods and allowing of distribution of information proven by science to be factual in the essential need of supplementation against disease. So we bring good news for all of you who have been told that you have a genetic condition. This is really going to be good news because the genetic theory has been proven to be incorrect. Incorrect, folks. The science of epigenetics, it studies how our behaviors and environment can cause changes that affect the way our genes work. Now, when I first heard this was really good news for me because there's a lot of disease and pain and mental and physical everything in my family history. But with epigenetics, we are empowered individuals and have more control than we could ever imagine on our health journey. So we invite you to feel the difference with the options that are going to be shared on this program. But again, get back with the person that invited you to watch this, whether you're on live with us or watching the replay, get back with them. Thank them for sharing this information with you. And just be a sponge, folks. Absorb the information so that you can then squeeze it out and apply it to your life, to the lives of those around you, your community, and let's just reach around the world. We're here to give information that is going to help anybody and everybody, regardless of age, regardless of skin color, regardless of heritage. Nutrition, intentional with what the body was originally created with from the dust, is what's going to continue to nourish our bodies and give us the health that we need to enjoy and love life to its fullest. Now, to guide us, we are honored to have one of the founding fathers of this science, epigenetics, but he's also the recipient of the 2011 Klaus Schwartz Commemorative Medal, a lifetime achievement in natural medicine and philanthropy from the United Nations, and that was in 2015. Dr. Joel Wallach. Dr. Wallach, welcome to Ask Doc Live, Ask Vet Live.
Well, thank you so much, Becca, and thank you so much, team. We just really, it's just like family, and appreciate all the efforts that everybody's putting in to make all this happen. Thank you so much. And I want to remind people that the science of epigenetics is well documented. That picture on the front cover tells the part of the beginning story. That's where I discovered the first case of a non-human with cystic fibrosis, supposed to be one of the most terrible birth defects at the Yerkes Primate Center in Atlanta, Georgia, Emory University. Okay. Epigenetics, the death of the genetic theory of disease transmission. There you go. There you go. Okay, very good. And then, of course, on the back cover, it's Dr. Gerhard Schrauzer, one of the greatest biochemists in our lifetimes, and probably before that too, awarding me the Klaus Schwartz Commemorative Medal and Award in 2011. And I think I'm the only naturopathic doctor to ever get that award, okay? It's kind of like the PhD of biochemistry. It's kind of like the, what am I looking for? It's like the Nobel Prize for biochemistry. So I'm very, very honored to have all that. And of course, it comes down to unimpeachable facts. Unimpeachable facts. Now, people always say, well, how'd you get all started in this thing, Wallach? Well, it all started when I was going through just very quickly. Some of you probably heard this story, but between ages 5 and 9, I had terrible problems with behavior. They didn't have a name for it back then. Now it's called Tourette syndrome. Okay, very, very disruptive, dangerous behavior. And 20 doctors couldn't heal me. They were just having a struggle making my health come back to normal. And so they were going to put me in this facility, which was kind of like a medical jail is what it was, a medical jail. I'm only 9 years old. And it's a Friday night. My parents are packing my clothes. They're going to put me in this medical jail on Monday. And so I'm thinking to myself, why am I having to go through this? What's going on here? I'm only 9 years old. And so I thought, okay. And the next morning, Saturday morning, when everybody else was eating breakfast, I threw my Cheerios and my oatmeal out to the chickens, and I went to the barn, and I got a bowl full of the alfalfa pellets that are supplemented with vitamins and minerals for our calves. When you get calves that you're raising, okay, to ship out later on, there's vitamins and minerals that are added to these alfalfa pellets. Not just alfalfa, but it's alfalfa that's supplemented with vitamins and minerals. And I put it in my cereal bowl, put milk on it, and ate that for breakfast. Did it again. That was Saturday morning. Did it again on Sunday morning. Did it again on Monday morning. And by 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday, after 9 years, okay, 5 years of real terrible problems, it all went away. And so I was able to cure myself in just 2.5 days by taking these vitamins and minerals supplemented alfalfa pellets. And so I knew when I was 9 years old, these 20 doctors didn't know even what they were looking for, let alone how to fix it. Okay. So that kind of set me off. When I went to the school, I began to study on everything I could in biochemistry and what goes on in animals and what goes on in people. And so again, to make a long story short, I graduate from high school, okay, in I think it was 1958, and I went to agricultural school at the University of Missouri, and I'm taking all these courses, and I want to become a veterinarian. And so in 1963, a year before I graduated veterinary school, I was working my way through school. We didn't have a lot of money, so I was working in the pathology department. It was 1963, December. All the pathologists are off for the holidays, and I'm there by myself. And this guy comes in, this sheep herder comes in and dumps 50 dead lambs on me, 50 dead lambs. And I said, oh my gosh, what happened? He says, I don't know. I had 500 lambs, 6 months old. They're going to, after the new year, they were going to go to market. And yesterday I fed them all, and they're all happy and running around, jumping in and out of the feed box or following the trailer with the feed in it and making all their noises and nothing, no warning. And then this morning I went to go feed them again. They're all dead. 500 died in one night. Holy moly. So when I opened them up, all 50 of them, their blood was black and purple. So I knew they had some nitrates in them. Nitrates, okay, cause that. And I said, okay, where are they getting their drinking water? He said, we have a pond. I said, okay. And what about the farms around you? Do they have animals or no? He said, there's all just have like hay and corn and that kind of stuff. I said, do you know what kind of fertilizer they use? Well, they use a typical high nitrate fertilizer. I said, okay, well, there's your problem. The 6 months that these lambs have been there drinking out of that pond, they're drinking this water that's high in nitrates because of the runoff from the surrounding farms. And do you know what the temperature was last night? No. So I contacted the environmental and the people who do everything with the temperatures, the environment, and all this kind of stuff. Okay, I contacted them, the news people, And they said, well, last night in central Missouri, the temperature dropped to 16. It had been running in the 40s and 50s because his farm was near the Mississippi River. And so getting all the heat coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. And so the temperature's running 38, 40, 45, 50. But last night, the temperature dropped to 16. Well, they all died of hypothermia because their thyroids were dead because they've been getting nitrates for every day for 6 months. Okay. And they couldn't handle the temperature drop. Well, I wrote a paper on that. That was my first scientific paper. It was a very ho-hum title because I put in several titles, but the one that the veterinary journal picked was hypothyroidism in feeder lambs. Okay, it's pretty ho-hum. But basically, it was the thyroid glands didn't get enough iodine. They got too much nitrates and couldn't handle the drastic drop in temperature. Okay, and that's why all those lambs died. And so at that time, Marlon Perkins had been working with him for many years at the St. Louis Zoo and his TV show. Okay, and Marlon Perkins sent me to South Africa to work on the White Rhino Project. There was only 350 left in South Africa, and he said we got to save them. And so I spent 2 years there. I was enjoying myself living out in the bush in Natal province in South Africa, and I was working with the Natal province, their wild animal parks. We're building wild animal parks for the white rhino, and I caught 200 of them. We had a drug called M99. It had an antidote, and this drug was 10,000 times more potent than morphine. We could dart them with a little dart like a AAA battery, okay, compared to the 10-inch diameter darts that they had used with other drugs. And they didn't have an antidote. They just had to wait for them to recover from, and it took maybe even 15 to 20 minutes to get anesthetized. Well, with this M99, 10,000 times stronger than morphine, they would go down like in 3 minutes. And I had an antidote. I could get them up in less than a minute. Okay, so we caught 200 of them and wrote some scientific papers on this process and everything. And Ron Perkins, again from Mutual Omaha Wild Kingdom show, he took my paper that I wrote on those 500 dead lambs, and he got a grant from the National Institutes of Health, NIH. It was $20 million over a 10-year period. The first installment was like $7.5 million to the biology department of Washington University, Barry Commoner, the head of that department in Barnes Hospital. And they wanted me to come back and be the pathologist on the project. So I did. And to make a long story short, proved that there were no genetically transmitted diseases in animals. And I said, that's probably true in humans. Well, when the study was over, to make a long story short, I wound up getting a job as a pathologist at the Yerkes Primate Center at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. And I was only there for a couple of months, and I ran into the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis, supposed to be a genetic birth defect in humans. And I sent slides around to 5 medical schools. I didn't tell them it was from a monkey. I just said, I think this is cystic fibrosis. What do you think? And they came back in their letterheads and say, yeah, this is a classic example of cystic fibrosis. Then I told them all that this was from a monkey, and I think I found the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis. They're all excited because now we've got a laboratory animal, maybe. And it was better than that because I figured out why this lamb had, not lamb, excuse me, the monkey, why the monkey had the cystic fibrosis. And I got permission to do biopsies on the other baby monkeys there, and sure enough, they all had cystic fibrosis. They all had different mothers and fathers. And it still fit that pattern, no genetics. So what was happening? Well, the behaviorists took all the monkey pellets away from the mothers and fathers with all the vitamins and minerals in them, and just gave the adult monkeys fruit and vegetables because they didn't like them just sitting there eating monkey pellets. They wanted to see them eating apples and beans and fruit and berries and all that kind of stuff. And so that's why these 25 baby monkeys all had cystic fibrosis, because I got permission to do biopsies in all of them, and they all had cystic fibrosis. I put it all together in a paper and was going to present it at a big federal event, and they fired me because I had to present it for them to approve it. Well, they didn't approve it. They fired me summarily. Okay, Wallach, pack up your stuff. You're out of here. You're crazy. This is a genetic disease in humans. Genetic birth defect. No, 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 no. So I had to go to all these different events looking for a job. And I wound up thinking, I'm going to become a naturopathic doctor. They're not going to let me into medical school, so I'll become a naturopathic doctor. And I'll start seeing patients, human patients. And so that's how all this began. And so it's one of those things where when you look at what happened, when I did those 20,000 autopsies, with 17,000 some change of over 450 species of animals, and just close to 3,000 humans, okay? And it was proof that none of them had any genetic diseases. And my thesis is in the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure. I'm very, very proud of that because I proved that there were no genetic diseases. And that's why we started the science of epigenetics. Okay. And that's me with one of the baby monkeys in Yerkes Primate Center, okay, that had the cystic fibrosis. And then, of course, this is Gerhard Schrauser, okay, actually giving me the Klaus Schwarz Award in 2011, which is kind of like the Nobel Prize in biochemistry. I'm so very, very proud of that. And that's in our museum here at Youngevity in San Diego that's hanging on the wall there, okay? I don't take it with me because I'll lose it someplace. And so anyway, that's kind of my background. And so it's very, very important to appreciate that animals give us clues to what's going on in humans. When it comes to heart disease, okay, and ruptured aneurysms and things like that, we learned about that in turkeys about 100 years ago, okay? This was happening in turkeys they were raising to go to market for Thanksgiving. These turkeys are all dying of heart attacks and ruptured aneurysms and things like that. So what is going on here? They have these genetic heart problems that we have in humans. No, it's caused by nutritional deficiencies, okay? And of course, the same thing is true for a variety of diseases, which we'll get into. I'm going to start out with something that's really controversial here, okay? And this is a deficiency, okay? This is a deficiency of something that doctors hate. It's a deficiency of something doctors hate. Doctors hate cholesterol. Okay, over 100 years ago, they said cholesterol is what's causing the blockages in your arteries. And they started telling people to stop eating eggs, stop eating animal fat, and so forth. And we developed, I don't know, 6 or 8 or 10 different diseases that are caused by a cholesterol deficiency. But one of the things that used to happen on farms, every once in a while, you get a bull calf, okay, that when they would go through puberty, the bull calves thought they were girls, okay? And they had a gender issue. And the farmers would just knock them ahead and roast them and eat them because you couldn't have a bull thinking they're a girl because they were useless, okay? You wouldn't want to put the money and feed into feeding a bull calf who thought he was a girl. So they would just kill him and eat him. Well, it turns out, and I figured this out, I'm the guy that figured this out, that your brain is 25% cholesterol, your spinal cord is 25% cholesterol, and it has to do with the myelin, the white matter of the brain, okay, very important. And this came out just in the last year or so, okay? It was originally in the, let's see here, the Stockholm Brain Institute, okay, the Stockholm Brain Institute in Sweden, okay, and they put this article in the proceedings of the National, let's see here, the National Academy of Sciences in the United States. Has been published in the National Academy of Sciences Journal, okay, in the United States. So you know that they checked this out and this had to be true. What they did, okay, in Sweden was use the MRI, magnetic resonance, magnetic resonance imaging, yeah. And it's one of those things where there's no radiation in there, but what they were doing is taking newborn human babies and doing this MRIs on these newborn babies. They're finding that some of them, okay, percentage, would have weird things going on in their brain at birth. Okay. And then they did a study on people who were over age 25 who had gender issues, and they did MRIs on them, and they said, "Oh, we have a problem here because these babies are born with these same issues in the brain, and so we know that this gender issue thing starts in pregnancy. It's not something that the kids make a choice during puberty. This happens during pregnancy. This is all printed in these very, very well documented, very well respected scientific journals. This is just recent stuff." And basically, you're talking about the myelin, the white matter of the brain isn't there like it's supposed to be. And so they found, and I'll give you just two basic things. Number one, they found out that, let's see here, gay men and heterosexual females have brains that grossly look identical. They have the right and left hemispheres are equal size. But when you do the MRI, the men, okay, have a problem with the myelin in the brain, and they don't transmit proper information electronically through the nerves in the brain. When you look at lesbian females and straight men, they have something different. The right side of their brain, the right hemisphere, is significantly bigger than the left side, and the lesbian women have the same issues as gay men when it comes to the myelin in the brain being gone, and so they have this electrical transmission problem. This all begins at 4 weeks of pregnancy. This all begins at 4 weeks of pregnancy. So how could these embryos have a cholesterol deficiency? Well, what happens is women want to be skinny and beautiful. And so they stay away from animal fat. They stay away from eggs. They stay away from dairy and cheese and things like that that have cholesterol in them because they want to stay skinny and beautiful. And so when a pregnancy occurs, there's no cholesterol for the embryo's brain. And so they have all kinds of defects. They have all kinds of defects, some of which are gender issues. And so this is a totally preventable issue. Also, we're going to start working on newborn babies that are found to have these issues, or newborn babies. They already have this myelin defect, and see if we can start giving them something like our I-26, okay, which provides 25% of the daily requirement, okay, for human beings and animals of cholesterol. It says it right on the label. 25% of the daily requirement for cholesterol. And it freaks doctors out because they think cholesterol is very, very bad. Well, it makes up 25% of your brain, makes up 25% of your spinal cord. Now, here's where it shows up in adult humans. Alzheimer's disease, okay, is a cholesterol deficiency. MS, multiple sclerosis, is a cholesterol deficiency. Guillain-Barré syndrome is multiple sclerosis of the spinal cord, and it's a cholesterol deficiency. Parkinson's disease is kind of like MS with tremors. And then demyelinization, you don't have a lot of symptoms where doctors could give you a diagnosis of a specific disease, but you're weak and have difficulty in communicating and have all kinds of sort of what would be considered distracting issues. And they do an MRI, and all the white matter of the brain's gone. Okay. And so this is something that is, you have to pay attention to. You have to make up your mind. Are you going to listen to the false information about cholesterol being bad and clogs your arteries? No, doesn't happen. That's not what's going on here. Okay. Then I also want you to pay attention to energy. People, one of the biggest complaints I get, sort of what they say specific, is I just don't have any energy. I fall asleep an hour after I eat. Well, they have hypoglycemia, reactive hypoglycemia. They can also have all kinds of problems with diabetes and that kind of stuff going on. And so they need to be tested for that. That's easy. They can do that at home. You don't even need a doctor's prescription to get the test strips and everything for diabetes at the pharmacy. And so we came out with a sports drink, okay, I'm going to put this up here real quickly. Okay.
I got you, Dr. Wallach.
Okay.
It does.
Okay. You got the sports drink up there?
Yeah, I've got it right here. Rebound.
Okay, Rebound. There you go. There you go. Rebound. I don't
have 3 N's, but I'll hold up 2 versions. How's that?
Oh, there you go. Rebound. And Rebound has 100 nutrients in it, 75 minerals and 25 vitamins, amino acids. Red Bull has 1 mineral, magnesium, and 4 vitamins. Okay, Red Bull primarily is sugar and caffeine. It's an energy drink. It came out in 1987, 2 years after the first energy drink came out in 1985. It was Monster by Coca-Cola. Red Bull came out. It was made by an Austrian guy. Oh, not Australian, but Austrian from Austria. Okay. And he just died a couple of months ago at age 78. And he'd been bragging until the day he died that he drank 10 cans of Red Bull a day for 25 years. And then he died at age 78. They haven't really released his specific cause of death. They just said he had a long time issue, which he finally died from. Okay. And they really didn't go into great detail. 2001, Pepsi Cola came out with their Rockstar energy drink. And of course, in 2011, we came out with Rebound. Okay. And of course, Rebound comes in a canister with 36 servings in it. It comes in the sticks, 30 sticks in a box. Okay. And the can, there's 12-ounce cans with 12 cans in the case. And the only thing that I have issue with in the can is it has carbonation in it. So I pop the tops on 2 of them every night before bedtime, put them in the refrigerator so all the bubbly is gone by morning. I can safely drink one in the morning. It has 100 nutrients in it, 75 minerals and 25 vitamins, amino acids. And Red Bull has a carbonation, plus it has only 1 mineral, magnesium. And I think they used that 1 mineral because that's the one that Bruce Lee used. That was the only mineral he supplemented with. Bruce Lee was magnesium, and he died at 32. Okay. He really had terrible problems. And he died at 32. And doctors said he died. They said 45 years after he died, they said he died of drinking too much water. No, he died because he ate see here.
Pasta.
Huh?
Pasta.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was spaghetti, pasta, cereal, oatmeal. You know, he was eating all this gluten for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And this is why the fitness guru that was beloved by all countries in the world, they loved him when he was 25 years old. I mean, he was the fitness guru, but he died at 32 because he spent all his meals and his snacks eating gluten, and he only supplemented with 1 mineral, magnesium. Okay.
Dr. Wallach, can I read off what's in this one?
Yes.
So we've got vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D3, vitamin E, vitamin B1, vitamin B2, vitamin B3, vitamin B4, folate, vitamin B12, biotin, pantothenic acid, choline, inositol, potassium. How many different amino acids?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 different amino acids. Taurine, green tea extract, ginseng root. Oh, I didn't know this was in there. It's glucanode, delta lactone, which is really good for the digestive system, folks, and 120 milligrams of plant-derived minerals. That's your 77 minerals, plus the things that it gave us actual values for. So I mean, you get all of that in the Rebound, which it's not to take the place of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, but this is what I use during the day as like my second boost of the nutrients. And I like the powder, Dr. Wallach. Yeah.
It's beautiful. It doesn't have any carbonation in it, and it's easy to take with you. I don't like to take it in my luggage on airplanes because these guys who inspect the luggage, they don't put the top on tight, and there's 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 um, um, rebound on everything when I get arrive at my place. So I take the sticks with me when I fly, because if they want to cut one open and test that, that's fine. But this doesn't get all over my clothes. So when I travel, I take my rebound sticks. But at home, I'll take the rebound sticks. I'll take the powder. I'll drink the cans, whatever is convenient at the moment. And of course, again, Rebound has 75 to 78 minerals in it, depending on which. We have 8 sources of these plant-derived minerals. So some sources have 78 minerals, some have 75, never less than 75. We have 12 vitamins and something like 15 different amino acids. Red Bull has 1 mineral. We have 75 to 78. They have 1 mineral. They have 4 vitamins. And Rockstar has 1 mineral and 5 vitamins. So, you have to think about it. Do you just want a lot of sugar? Do you just want a lot of caffeine? Is what you're getting with Red Bull. And that's why we came up with this, okay? This new set is available. Are you holding that up?
No, Dr. Wallach, it's not. So your graphic on this show is not showing up today.
Oh, okay. Anyway, we have a 3 CD set. Okay, it's there's a new bull in town, because Red Bull, we didn't want to say Blue Bull or Gold Bull or something like that, so we just said there's a new bull in town, and we are, really, and we have 3 CDs in the set. Dead Athletes Don't Lie, Exercise Without Supplementation is Suicide, and What Kills Billionaires. The average life expectancy of billionaires in America, just eating very expensive meals, very expensive food, eating the best of the best of the best, their life expectancy, according to the Center for Disease Control in America, is 66.7. The life expectancy of professional athletes in America, even though they're eating well, and this is a big problem right now, okay? We have this problem in athletes, they're dying like flies in their 30s and 40s and 50s, okay? Their life expectancy is 56.7. Not very good, because the average lifespan of Americans, the average expectancy, the predicted expectancy, life expectancy is 75, okay? 20 years longer than a professional athlete. There's something wrong with this picture. And that's, of course, because these people want sugar and caffeine. They're probably drinking a lot of Red Bull kind of stuff. They're drinking soft drinks, Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola, 7-Up, and all that kind of stuff. And guess what? They're not getting the nutrition. They could be following Bruce Lee's pattern, and having muesli, which is rolled oats for breakfast, and spaghetti for lunch and spaghetti for dinner, and putting wheat germ in all their sports drinks and everything. Again, gluten, 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 gluten. So you can't, even if you're supplementing properly, you can't absorb it because the gluten kills your intestines. Okay, so this is why we're having all these athletes dying now. Okay, they're choosing poorly. Okay, that sounds familiar. Sounds like a 007 movie. They chose poorly. Okay, so back to you, Becca.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. So that was a lot of information. That was a long introduction, but I think it's so important because Dr. Wallach has done so much research, and he is been right there at the forefront and providing information and discoveries, but at the time didn't have the whole media like we do now in order to get his discoveries out. And that's what we want to make sure that the world knows what is going on. Why are all these different things happening? It's not by chance, folks. It's because of lack of intention. So let's go ahead and take it upon ourselves to be part of the solution worldwide. Well, Dr. Wallach, we have a couple people with questions. And folks, if you're on live with us and you have a question for Dr. Wallach, make sure that you raise your virtual hand. I don't see the hands if they're going up like this. So go to the Zoom menu and click on raise hand. you might have to click on reactions and then find that option to raise hand so that we can get to you during this program. So I do want to focus on those that have their virtual hands raised first, and then go to the questions, and also, oh, look at all those hands pop up. And also the emails that have come into me as well. Now, if you have an email that you would like, or if you'd like to email in a question, go to criticalhealthnews.com, sign up for our newsletter, use that contact us option on the website, and myself or one of my certified holistic health coaches will get back to you with answers and help you in choosing the right protocol for yourself or your pets. Okay, so Dr. Wallach, let's go to the first hand that is up, and it is iPhone. So it looks like this gentleman's been on a walk, Dr. Wallach. So I appreciate his blue skies right now. And go ahead and unmute yourself. You're on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Doc.
Yes, sir. How can we help you?
Hi, my name is Stephen. I'm 5'10", 195 pounds, 68 years of age. I'm having a metabolic respiratory problem. I simply doing simple things like going upstairs or what have you. It just sort of I just sort of breathe deeper and then kind of blow out when I'm exhaling. And I've done a stress test, passed very well. The heart's good, but it's just a kind of a chronic thing ongoing. When I do extra, exercises and things, I just kind of work through it, past it, but it's prevalent there in the background.
Okay. Do you have any other issues, any diabetes or high blood pressure, any arthritis, any joint problems, any ringing in the ears?
Occasionally ringing in the ears, kind of on the line in terms of high blood pressure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then let's see here. How many times do you wake up at night to urinate? Once, 3 times, 5 times?
Pretty often, about 4 or 5 times.
Okay. You have osteoporosis of the skull. Okay, osteoporosis of the skull causes 37 different diseases, of which you have 5 or 6. Okay. Let me show you something. The normal human skull is a 1/4 inch thick. You can see that, okay?
Yes.
That's the top one up here. Okay, there's 12 pairs of cranial nerves that come out of the brain through the skull to go do their thing in the body. And the spinal cord comes out of the back of the skull, goes down the back, and there's 17 different diseases you can get, and you got several of them, including that polyuria, getting up so many times at night to urinate. This skull is 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick because it's osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing those nerves. That's what you got going on. Did you have to go to an orthodontist when you were a teenager? Did you have braces?
No.
Okay, do you have receding gums now?
Have what?
Receding gums?
No.
Do you have implants or anything like that? Or
no?
You have all your own original teeth?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah, you have osteoporosis of the skull, probably who knows how many other things you got. But it's your body weight. What you do is get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no deli slices, no sandwich meats, no bacon, no ham. All that's got to go because of the chemicals. Okay. Then you need to get rid of oils. No cooking oils, no salad dressings. You want salad dressings, use milk or cheese, liquid cheeses and that kind of stuff. Don't use oils. And then absolutely no gluten, no wheat, no barley, rye, and oats, no buckwheat. Buckwheat doesn't have gluten in it, and they're putting on the labels of all these buckwheat packages, no gluten. Everybody's running and buying this buckwheat because it has no gluten, but it has phagopyrines in it, and phagopyrines are worse than gluten. Okay? Can't have buckwheat either. No peanuts because they cause liver cancer, no peanuts. And then no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet ones got to go because carbonation neutralizes stomach acid, so you cannot absorb minerals. Okay, so you cannot digest food. You need stomach acid to do that. The good Lord gave us stomach acid to digest food and absorb minerals. And I want you to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. It has 215 nutrients in it, but the core is still the 90 essential nutrients. 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of breakfast, full dose of dinner time. I want you to take 2 bottles a month of our MSM, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time, and they will support and promote maintenance, repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone makes bone itself, including the skull. Okay. Then I want you to take our collagen peptides. It's collagen from fish, poultry, sheep, and beef. Take a scoop of that in your morning drink, scoop of your evening drink. That's going to be 2 canisters per month to pull that off. Then I want you to take vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. I don't care if you live on an island in the ocean and you're living in the sunshine, but most people sit in the shade when they're adults. It's only kids that get out in the sun. So you do need the vitamin D3. And then because you have sort of the pre-high blood pressure thing, I want you to get 2 bottles a month of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 of those twice a day. That'll support healthy blood pressure and healthy blood flow through blocked arteries in the brain, the heart, the kidneys, okay? And for energy, I want you to use our Rebound, our sports drink. If you're going to use the canisters, fine. If you're going to use the sticks, fine. If you're going to use the cans, you got to pop the tops on, say, 2 of them. It's your body weight. Put them in the refrigerator at night. Drink 1 at breakfast, 1 at lunchtime, or maybe within a couple hours after lunch. And you're going to be a different person. We do this thousands of times. And I've done this with so many athletes. And I do have to take this opportunity to say, I don't know if you've ever heard of the welterweight champion, Virgil Akins. He was a club fighter for many years. And he never could quite get above that club fighting group of people. He could never get up into the real heroes of the boxing world. And so I got him on the similar program that you're on. And a year later, he becomes the world welterweight champion. Okay. Another one in the boxing world was Evander Holyfield, the real deal. He lost his heavyweight championship to Michael Moore because he had a heart attack at the break between the 11th and 12th round. He was defending his title against Michael Moore. And he had a heart attack and he couldn't come out. So he lost his heavyweight championship by default. So I came out with the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack for him. Got him on that. And a year later, he goes back and he defeats, I shouldn't say that, he destroyed Mike Tyson in the 6th round. The referee had to stop the fight because Evander Holyfield was going to kill Mike Tyson if he didn't stop the fight. Okay. And so, and then of course we have Theo Ratliff. He's a basketball player, and his basketball career was over. He had only 24 years old. He had a $35 million contract with the Atlanta Hawks. He had bone-to-bone arthritis in both his knees. The cartilage popped off his hips. He fractured his right wrist, a shooting arm wrist. And I rebuilt him again with exactly the same thing that you are getting. And he came back and got his contract back. And he played for 11 years, made $100 million, but he never had a problem after he started taking my program. Do you think he likes my program? Okay. So give us a call in a couple of weeks.
Very nice. Start. And for clarification, when you say gluten-free,
no wheat, butter, or oats in any way.
Right. No, I get it. But
there's when no you have gluten-free oats, there are no gluten-free oats.
Right. But when you get the corn chips and it says gluten-free, is that all right?
No, but corn chips are fried.
Oh, okay.
So that oil that's in the corn oil in the corn is fried, and corn chips, potato chips, those are all fried.
Right. Got it. Very good. Thank you so kindly.
You bet. That's what fresh fruit and berries are for.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, sir. Okay, Becca, over to you.
All right, Dr. Wallach, let's go to a question that came in the chat, Dr. Wallach. And I think it was Joseph. Joseph wants to know about using the microwave. Is that safe? Does it deplete the nutritional value?
Well, it's like all things. If you boil things too long, you can get rid of the value. If you microwave too long, you can deplete the value. But, you know, using microwaves to heat water to make green tea with, that kind of stuff, put your tea bag in it after you get it out of the microwave. You can warm frozen meat just to thaw it out quicker, kind of thing. You don't want to microwave it until it's brittle, right? So you do.
Well, I prefer to use hot water if I need to warm, defrost my meat. But so it does. I mean, it heats things up rather quickly. So we want to make sure that we're very careful what we use the microwave for, correct?
Yeah, 5 or 10 seconds.
At a time. Yeah. So, but that's a great question, Joseph. And that is something that we are looking into more for more detail and research on. Let's go to the next hand that is up, Dr. Wallach. And Ole, want to go ahead and turn your camera on? You are on live with Dr. Wallach, and I just sent you a request to unmute, sir.
Okay, I've unmuted. I haven't been able to turn my camera on. It was on earlier, and now my camera is off.
How about now?
There's my camera's on now. Okay.
I apologize. His name is it Ali? His name?
Yeah, the name is Ole. It's a
Ole.
Scandinavian name.
Okay.
So it's Ole Thompson.
How can we help you, sir?
Okay, I have a blood disorder. I had a bone marrow biopsy, and my bone marrow is not producing enough red blood. So I've had 6 blood transfusions in the last 4.5, 5 months.
Okay, stop. How much do you weigh?
Oh, I weigh 158 pounds.
And how old are you?
I'm 88. I'll be 89 next month.
How many times a night you wake up to urinate? Once, 3 times?
Twice.
5 times?
Twice.
Okay. Do you have any tinnitus or ringing in the ears?
No.
Do you have any balance problems, vertigo, or dizziness?
A little balance problems. I have to walk with a cane. I'm a little weak.
Okay. And do you have any diabetes or high blood pressure?
No.
Okay. Do you have your own teeth, or do you have implants? Or
I have a couple of implants. Other than that, I have my own teeth.
okay. All right. Have you slowly lost any vision?
Yeah, a little bit. I've had a cornea transplant. I've had quite a few problems with my eyes over the years. I'm nearsighted, and I have chronic kidney disease. So I'm about a stage 3.
So not quite on dialysis yet.
Not on dialysis, no, sir.
Okay. What about your heart? Do you have any irregular heartbeat or fast heart rate? Do you have anything like that? Do you have AFib or?
I have a little AFib, and about 4 or 5 months ago, I had a pacemaker installed.
Okay. Well, guess what? You have osteoporosis of the skull. There's 37 different diseases you can have for osteoporosis of the skull, and guess what? You have about 10 of them. Okay. The upper skull is a normal skull, 1/4 inch thick. The lower skull is osteoporosis of the skull. It's 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick. And squeezing the 12 pairs of cranial nerves that come out of the skull. Okay. There's the location of the origin of these 12 pairs of cranial nerves, 12 on the right side, 12 on the left side, and then the spinal cord comes out of the back of the skull. And when your skull looks like this, okay, all this stuff is being squeezed. Your spinal cord is being squeezed. There's 17 different diseases you get, including getting up 2 times at night to urinate. That's caused by the skull squeezing your spinal cord. The spinal cord is telling your urinary bladder to urinate. Okay, now your doctor loves this scenario because they say, oh, you might have a prostate problem. Let's do a biopsy. Did they do a biopsy on your prostate yet?
Yes, they have, and I've had the prostate removed by radiation.
Did your doctor give you a thank you card for sending his kids through college?
No, he didn't.
Okay. Yeah. See, the odds are you didn't have anything wrong. He said, well, if I just for good measure, let's just take your prostate out. And you really didn't have anything wrong with your prostate because it's osteoporosis of the skull. That's why you have balance problems. The 8th cranial nerve being squeezed. The AFib is caused by the 10th cranial nerve being squeezed. Did you ever have any stomach pain? And the doctors had to check you out for an ulcer or anything like that?
Yeah, I have osteomyelitis, and I have
what
chronic osteo. I have chronic bowel disease.
Yeah, what do you eat for breakfast every morning?
Well, I used to eat cereal every morning, but for the past 4.5, 5 months, I've been eating 2 eggs for
Okay,
breakfast
good.
every
You can
morning.
have rice. You can have rice, but you can't have it fried. You can just have, steamed or boiled rice. And then again, the reason why your bone marrow is dying is your bone marrow is not getting the nutrients it needs to make red blood cells, to make platelets, to make white blood cells, to make antibodies. And that's why your immune system is going like that, okay? And so, again, it's your body weight. I want you to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 full doses a day. I want you to have 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And this is going to get you off of all these medications, okay? Don't cold turkey off the medications, but as the doctor said, I don't know why, but your blood is doing good. You don't need 15 transfusions a month anymore, okay, kind of thing. And so then I also need the collagen peptides. Take a scoop of that at your morning drink and a scoop of that at your dinner drink. It's going to take 2 canisters per month. Of course, you're going to have the Beyond OsteoFX with the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Take a scoop of that with breakfast, scoop of that with dinner time. Get 2 bottles a month of the let's see here. I'd go ahead with the vitamin D3, take 3 of those twice a day. You also need the Synaptive. Get 2 bottles a month of our Synaptive. Take 3 of those twice a day. It's going to support your brain cells talking to each other. I want you to have 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. And you said you started with 2 eggs for breakfast. I want you to have 3 eggs for breakfast, 3 eggs for dinner time with soft yolks, not hard boiled, not fried. And it's going to help rebuild your brain and help rebuild your spinal cord. But you need all this other stuff to rebuild your skull. And all these issues are going to go away. When you have stomach issues, okay, it's called gastroparesis. Doctors want to do an operation because they think you got a stomach ulcer. Really, it's that same nerve that's causing your irregular heartbeat, the AFib. Don't let them do anything like anesthetize you and take your heart out and put hot branding irons on your heart. Okay, don't do that. That's called ablation. That's their treatment for AFib. Did you get ablation? No, don't do it.
No,
it's it kills more people percentage-wise than any other medical treatment. Ablation is a very, very dangerous thing to do, okay? So at any rate, it should be within weeks, your bone marrow will come back and start making red blood cells and platelets and white blood cells and antibodies again. And so you can avoid all these transfusions, okay?
Is there a problem, doctor, with the kidney disease about taking an excess of the minerals and supplements? Is that going to hurt my kidneys?
No, the kidney disease, again, is caused by you're having things going on with the arteries in your kidneys, okay? So same way with arteries in your heart. And that's why you want to stay away from all the bad stuff, the fried foods, processed meats, the oils, the glutens, all that kind of stuff. But you do want to take those Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. If you're on medication for high blood pressure and that kind of stuff, don't cold turkey off of it. But as your blood pressure begins to come down a little bit, you can slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers, okay? Because your kidneys, we take people that haven't urinated in 10 years. They're on dialysis 6 days a week. And in 2 weeks' time, on this program we just gave you, they're urinating again. So they drop the dialysis down. After 10 years of being on dialysis 6 days a week, they drop them down to 3 days a week. And in 2 more weeks, they're totally off of dialysis. And some of them have been on dialysis for 25 years. And just in a month or 6 weeks, they're totally off of dialysis. The kidneys recover very quickly if you give it all the right stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, doctor, I can't remember all of the things
no
that
problem.
you prescribed for me. So
no problem. And Rebecca's going to tell you how to get all this information.
Okay, good. Thanks, Rebecca.
You're welcome, Ollie. So basically, folks, the replays for our programs are on askdoclive.com. You can go there and listen to the replays and stop it, write it down, stop it, write it down. But you can also use Contact Us, especially if you do not have a longevity associate that you are working with. Use that Contact Us, and myself or one of my certified holistic health coaches will get back with you. And I do want to put this out there. Microsoft, who we used as our program or our email service, whatever, they did some adjustments over the last month. So many emails we're finding in spam. So we're being more intentional and going to that spam folder, because those are the ones that we want. And then the ones that aren't spam are going to the inbox. It's just crazy. But that's technology, and it's absolutely fabulous when it works the way it's supposed to. And guess what? It is time for a break. So it is the top of the hour. We're going to take about 5 minutes to get up and stretch and make sure that you have some minerals in your water. If you don't have them, you can go to askdoclive.com and find the plant-derived minerals on our website. But if somebody specifically shared this program with you, get back with them and say, hey, I need some minerals at the minimum, whether it's the Rebound, the plant-derived minerals, the cherry mints, the strawberry kiwi mints, or we have our mineral sticks. I love our mineral sticks, especially, well, you can mix them in water, but I like to mix them in my morning yogurt, my Greek yogurt with 3.5 or 5% fat, because we need that good fat in our diet, because that helps feed our brain. So anyways, everybody, we will be right back after this short break. Don't go away. All right, I am back, and I just want to take the time to thank my co-hosts. They do so much in helping to make this program successful. Ruth Ellen Sanchez, Heather Bowen, and Nasima Omar, as they are making sure that each of you are let into the room. They do check names just to make sure that it's a name that we either know, or either the first name or the last name, because again, we want to make sure this is a safe place. We don't want to have any type of solicitation from anybody, you know, as far as like emails as your profile name, websites, all that good stuff. We want to make sure that you can invite people to this program, especially if you are a longevity distributor or associate or one of our Institute of Holistic Health coaches. We want this to be a safe place that you can be comfortable with sending your clients or potential clients to get information. Because folks, if you've ever had an interest in health, yet don't think that you can do it because you don't know all the answers, you don't have to. You don't have to. With the Institute of Holistic Health, we do teach Dr. Wallach's philosophy. We go through the nutritional deficiencies, how they affect the different 4 areas of health, and also the solutions that Dr. Wallach has come up with in restoring and balancing and correcting deficiencies that might be within the body that he has found to be linked to over 600 different diseases. So get with the person that invited you to this program and say, hey, I'm interested in that health coach program. Even if it's for your own knowledge. Knowledge is golden, folks. And the more knowledge that we have to help ourselves is so valuable, because we can then spread it and share with others who are in our lives that we love and care about. So get with the person that invited you to this program and ask them if they know about the Institute of Holistic Health and their health coach course. All right. Now, as we're waiting for Dr. Wallach to come back, I just want to thank all of you for being here with us today. This program is sponsored by Ask Doc Live, and we do have a website there, askdoclive.com. So that's kind of a given, sorry, duh. But we have a store there as well, and that store is available for those who have never purchased any of the longevity products before. We do, as you're checking out, if you have your longevity ID number and password, then please make sure that you sign in, because that will keep your order with the person that is your rightful enroller, the person that referred you to longevity. So we do have that option kind of as a safeguard for our coaches, so that they can rest assured that If their customer knows their number and doesn't get back with them to place an order, then their order will still remain where it's supposed to be. So make sure that your clients know what their longevity preferred customer ID number is and their password. All right. Now, again, we're still waiting for Dr. Wallach to come on. So Dr. Wallach, if you hear the sound of my voice, go ahead and unmute yourself and turn your camera on. And he'll be back here shortly. But what am I missing? Oh, there he is.
Here we go.
There he is. All right. Welcome back, Dr. Wallach.
Thank you.
Just going over some housekeeping. I don't think that I've missed anything. But folks, if you are on live with us today and you have a question for Dr. Wallach, especially if it is in regards to your pets and their well-being, today is Ask Vet Live. But we're not going to turn down human questions either, because it's us humans that take care of our pets. And many times the pets get better care than the humans. And we want to make sure that the humans stick around to take care of their pets. So one of our co-hosts have a question, Dr. Wallach, and she's saying that her primary care doc is saying that she might need to stop vitamin D3. Why would anybody need to stop taking vitamin D3? And I know for a fact that this individual is in a state that is cloudy 90% of the time.
Okay. I think she needs another opinion from another doctor.
Okay.
Yeah. Medical doctors don't get a lot of training on vitamins and minerals. And they have the false idea if you just eat well, you get everything you need. And that's why we're having so much trouble with our athletes right now. Because they're told, just eat well, just stay away, don't eat so many fried foods. They don't say stay away from fried foods. They just say don't eat so many fried foods. Well, what does that mean, right? And they don't say stay away from gluten. They don't say stay away from buckwheat. They don't say stay away from sugar. They don't say stay away from carbonated drinks. They don't say take your 90 essential nutrients. And our athletes are dying like flies right now. I think you have some statistics on this. It's rather scary.
Worldwide, Dr. Wallach, from 2020 to 2022, there have been 1,616 athletes that have, not all of them have died, but 80% died while doing the sport that they absolutely love. The others died in their sleep unexpectedly. So we're working on putting some numbers together for a show that will be focusing on that. It's pretty scary, Dr. Wallach, because these are supposed to be the people that are icons of health, people that are out there and just, for like the football players and the boxers and the swimmers. I mean, we're looking at people that are supposed to be in perfect condition, and they're dropping, they're collapsing, they're not waking up.
Yeah, and of course, people don't realize it, but when you sweat, whether it's from just sitting in the sun and sweating or you're exercising, you're not just sweating out water, you're sweating out a soup that contains all the nutrients floating around your blood. And unless you're taking back in double what you lost, you just keep getting deeper and deeper and deeper into the negative. And that's why we came out with the CD set, the 3 CD set. There's a new bull in town. CD number 1 of the 3 is Dead Athletes Don't Lie. And that one we took, let's see here, about a dozen athletes, professional athletes and Olympic athletes and university athletes are dying in their 20s and 30s and 40s. Okay, and we give, what they died from and said what caused the death, okay, because they were sweating out all their nutrients. CD number 2 in that set is exercise without supplementation of suicide, and goes into the sweating issue in great detail, okay? And then the third one is what kills billionaires. And billionaires, they belong to these fitness clubs and all, they have coaches, they can afford 2 or 3 different coaches. Oh, I have my I have my walking coach, and I have my boxing coach, and I have my weightlifting coach, and all that kind of stuff, because they're billionaires, right? And they don't get enough of the right information. And their life expectancy, according to the Center for Disease Control in America, just like last week, their life expectancy is 66.7. The life expectancy of professional athletes in America is 56.7. That doesn't make sense. Okay. Mm-hmm. So these folks are missing these nutrients because they're just, quote, eating well. They'll spend $200 for a meal per person. And they think I'm getting everything I need because I'm spending $200. No, it doesn't work that way. $200 of nothing is still nothing.
That's right. And, you know, Dr. Wallach, as we were scanning through these different events, the one that really touched my heart is the 12-year-old gymnast who was out fishing with her dad and went into cardiac arrest.
Yeah, 12-year-old gymnast.
Yeah, it is never too early to get our families on nutrition.
Well, just don't forget the gender issue starts in 4 weeks of pregnancy. Okay, the gender issue, that just came out. Okay, these gender issues aren't something that a kid makes up in their mind when they're going through puberty. No. That happens in the development of the neural tube in the 4th week of pregnancy.
Right. So we just love you all, and we want to make sure that you are getting the information that you need to live the best possible life that you absolutely can, especially financially, especially nutritionally. And if you have any interest in health or business, financially as well. So I'll try to recover on that one. But I am loving my business. I'm loving what I'm able to do. And a little bit ago, you were talking about somebody, or you were talking with Oli and dialysis and urination. And he had been on dialysis, Dr. Wallach, or a gentleman that I had received a phone call. He had been on dialysis for 8 years. He had not been able to urinate for 3 years. Getting on our program and being consistent, not just here and there, but consistent for 2 weeks. He's like, this is kind of embarrassing, but I think you'll understand and appreciate it. I have had full urine flow 3 times now in the last 3 days. For somebody that's not been able to urinate for years, that's huge. That's huge, folks. And it just goes to prove that the body can do amazing things when it's given what it's missing. And our food doesn't have it.
That's right. Nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. Plants cannot make minerals. Plants can make vitamins, amino acids, and fatty acids because they're carbon compounds. Okay, but plants do not make minerals. And nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. U.S. Senate Document 264 came out in 1936 and said there's no longer sufficient minerals in our farm soil to support long and healthy human life. Now, I think I'm the first one to figure out why we have this problem. Okay. And this problem we have that they didn't have so much of, they had it back a long time ago, but not so much. The reason why we have this problem is because of this. Hell's Kitchen, which is named after a district in New York City, Hell's Kitchen, because every bad thing in the world in health happens in New York City. There you go, in New York City. Okay. And the reason why we named this book Hell's Kitchen, I want you to look at the stream of people through there, going back to the prehistoric days. Okay. And then it comes to the modern person. Yeah, there you go, to the modern person. It's a big difference. Well, what's going on here? Well, it comes down to electricity. Electricity was flipped on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, on Pearl Street in New York City, in the bluff overlooking the construction of the Brooklyn Bridge. And Thomas Edison pulled that switch. Well, within 18 years, by 1900, everybody kind of looked like the on the far right of the cover. Yeah. okay, with the big bellies and overweight by 25 to 50 to 100 pounds. And that's because they're missing nutrients and their body's developing a behavior called pica. Eat, 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 because your body wants you to find that nutrient and it's missing, okay? And it's all because of electricity. Now, why did electricity do that? Well, when we were using wood and coal as fuel for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, I'll repeat that, thousands and thousands and thousands of years we were using wood and coal as fuel, we're putting the wood ashes into our food, and wood ashes and coal ashes are 95 to 98% minerals and only 2 to 5% carbon, okay? We also would put the wood ashes into our gardens. We put the coal ashes into our gardens, and the tomatoes and the corn and the peppers and the onions and the cucumbers and the beans would suck up all these minerals. We'd eat those foods, we get the minerals that way. This is not difficult. We make bone broth. Well, instead of the bone broth, we have the collagen peptides because bone broth is sloppy and messy and grandma doesn't want to do that anymore. And they stink when you're cooking them.
If you do it right, it's
Stinky.
not the most appetizing smell. So I love our collagen, Dr. Wallach.
Yeah. So collagen peptides has replaced the bone broth, and our Healthy Brain and Heart Pack has replaced the wood ashes and the coal ashes. Okay. And so that's why you get these people that haven't urinated in 8 years, and suddenly after just a couple of weeks on our program, they're urinating again. We do this all the time, thousands of times a month. We're in 80 countries. We're all over the world.
Yeah. So before you go too farther with this, Dr. Wallach, I just want to do a little bit of clarity, because people have asked me, well, if plants don't make minerals, then why are you using plant-derived minerals? Plants don't make minerals unless they're in the soil that they're grown in.
Yeah, they don't make them, they just suck them up.
They suck them up and then we get them. So I just wanted to add a little clarity on that. So Dr. Wallach, we have many questions in the chat. We've got hands up. And Rebecca K has a really good one. What is the best way to prevent stomach aches when taking supplements? And can I take too many supplements?
Okay. Yeah, it's possible to take too many supplements, but most people can't afford it. You'd have to spend $1,000 a day to get too many supplements. Okay. Most people aren't going to spend that kind of money to do such an absurd thing. The supplementation, remember, we've been getting them for thousands of years by putting the wood ashes and coal ashes into our food and into our gardens. So it's not like we've just started supplementing. Okay. It's one of those things where we have to pay attention here. And of course, the first supplements we had commercially was sea salt. People learned that if they used sea salt, their goiter would go away. And so people on the coast would boil seawater and get the salt, but it didn't only have sodium chloride, but it had all the other minerals floating around in the ocean. Okay, it varied a little bit, but it was more than just sodium chloride. And they'd go inland and they would sell it. And that was our first commercial supplements, was sea salt. You've heard of sea salt, okay? Better than just sodium chloride with some 1 or 2 minerals added to it, okay? We don't go there. I like sea salt, but we have our salt. We have a seasoned salt from Australia, which is a sea salt from Australia, okay? It has like 28 different minerals in there, plus the sodium chloride, okay?
So back to the question, Dr. Wallach, what can we do to prevent a stomach ache when taking supplements?
Well, your stomach requires sodium chloride to make stomach acid. Every cell in your body requires sodium and chloride, okay, salt. One of the simplest things to prevent is a salt deficiency, okay? And it's required to make stomach acid to digest food. You want to stay away from gluten. No wheat, bran, around oats. There are no such things as gluten-free oats. Gliadin in oats is still gluten. Buckwheat, no. Okay. And again, if you're, even halfway busy like Rebecca or me or other people who maybe work at odd hours of the day and everything, and they have to eat maybe at all-night restaurants and things, or they have to make food at home and bring it with them. The only way you're going to guarantee you're going to get all 90 essential nutrients faithfully, optimally, right dosage each day is to take them, okay? Do you take dirt from Texas and put in your car, Rebecca?
Not even in the Jeep, Doc.
Come on now, there's bound to be some oil in it. That's dirt from Texas. Would you do that for your Jeep?
No.
No. Okay. And so just thinking you can eat well and get what you need is idiotic. And so any doctor who says that to you, you say, well, okay, doctor, I'm going to thank you. I'm going to go get a second opinion here because I don't think you're giving me correct information on that I can get everything I need just by eating well. I don't believe that. Okay. And I hope that you know better. And so I'm going to get some more information. And when I get information, I'll give it to you. So I'll educate you.
So feel free to share information, folks. Feel free to share. Something that I'd like to add to Rebecca K's question as an answer is take your supplementation with food, break it up so that you're not taking everything all at once. Break it up with the 3 meals that you're taking so that you're getting a little bit throughout the day. That's when you're going to get the best absorption also, is spreading it out, giving the body little bits at a time throughout the day. And if you've got some major digestive issues, we have a 20-day gut flora restoration program. Get back with your health coach and ask them about the 20-day gut program. Okay, that's using the products that Dr. Wallach has developed, the products that we have brought in underneath the longevity umbrella of trusted products that helps to restore the digestive flora within the digestive system so that you're getting the best absorption and having the best opportunity to be able to utilize the investment that you're making into yourself. Okay. Next question is, and let's go through this quickly because we've got hands and lots of questions. Joe wants to know, is it okay to eat fruits and have honey if someone has cancer?
Yeah, it's okay to have a little bit of honey, a few drops of honey. It's okay to eat fruit. Again, you want to make sure that you're getting all of your 90 essential nutrients. You need 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 fatty acids. And so, just eating apples for lunch and having some rice for breakfast and having a little bit of honey on some corn pancakes at dinner time isn't going to cut it. Okay. You need to be more specific. You need to be sure you're covering everything, all the different divisions, proteins and so forth. And so you need to be taking these products. We have 600 different products. No, I take that back. We have 5,000 products. We deal with 600 different disease programs, 600 different disease programs and 5,000 products. Some of the products are so well liked that some people say, do you have this in a pill? I don't like to take this much liquid. So we have some products, they're in pills, liquids, powders, and
yeah. Well, and with any diet, whether you have a disease or not, we do recommend a low sugar diet. Sugar feeds inflammation. Sugar is damaging. It's a large molecule that can be damaging within the small capillaries of the body. So limiting sugar in general, no matter what condition or state you're in, is going to be ideal. So Dr. Wallach, let's go to Lawrence, who has been patiently waiting with his hand up. Lawrence, you are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Doc Wallach. Hi, Rebecca.
Hello.
I got 2 questions. So one of them is really quick. So as you know, Doc Wallach, my wife and I, we are working on getting pregnant. We're a little bit older. So what we asked last time that we were on about nutrition, you recommended some protocols. And so we got those in the mail. They came really quick. And so we're on those. One of the things that we had questions on is biotin. Biotin is really important for a lot of prenatal things going on. But our doctor, our fertility doctor, warned us that too much biotin could be very harmful and may cause miscarriages. So what is the recommended amount of biotin for pregnant women?
Okay, well, I'm going to say whatever's on the label. Okay. Off the top of my head, I'd have to look it up myself. I apologize. But so what's on the label is going to give you the right answer. Biotin is a very innocuous B vitamin. Okay. And so for a doctor to say, oh, that biotin can be real dangerous to an embryo. Is this an OBGYN?
Yes.
Okay. He needs to go back to school, or she needs to go back to school.
Okay. Okay. So
wouldn't hurt to take all the blood work. You don't need to get another physical, but take the blood work and, go to another OBGYN at the other end of town that doesn't know the one you've gone to.
right. Well, we'll go with your recommendation.
You don't want to, have your OBGYN say, well, here, I'll give you my golf buddy here. She's also an OBGYN, and she'll give you her information too. Well, he's going to call her and say, here's what I said, and she'll say what he said, And so you have the right to get other opinions from other people.
Got it. Okay. Second question, really quick, since this is ask about our Furry Friends Day. We have a lab. He's about 13 years old, so he's up there in age. He's always had bone issues, so we've been giving him these MSM chewies that we got from online. And recently, as recently as 2 days ago, my wife found him lying down, just agonizing pain, just moaning. And on his daily walks, I've noticed that his hind leg is kind of drooping. It drags a little. Is there anything nutritionally that we could do to help him?
Yeah, I'd get him our collagen peptides. Okay. And he weighs how much?
85 pounds.
85 pounds. Yeah, I'd give him 1 scoop a day of the collagen peptides. So 1 canister a month will work for him. Put that collagen peptides in the food, mix it up real good. It's actually cartilage from fish, poultry, sheep, and beef. They're collagen peptides. And so the dog will love it. And MSM has its place in the process. But when you listen to me talking to people when they have bone problems, I always say, the 90 essential nutrients, MSM, collagen peptides, beyond OsteoFX, vitamin D3. And so, just to take one nutrient is not correct thinking.
Okay.
So don't forget the Arthrodex. Don't forget the Arthrodex. That's amazing stuff.
Great.
Are you using Arthrodex on this dog?
No, but
it's 1 scoop for 20 pounds of body weight. Thank you, Becca. Yeah, Arthrodex. You want to be using 1 scoop for 20 pounds. So if the dog weighs 60 pounds, it'd be 3 scoops a day for the Arthrodex. And it's a base of liver. Dogs love it. Cats love it. Okay. Even parrots will eat it. Okay. And so it's 1 scoop per 20 pounds of body weight. So I'd go with 3 scoops a day in the dog food. And it doesn't hurt to make sure that the dog food is a canned dog food. So it's moist. So when you mix that Arthrodex in there, the dog can't blow on it and blow it away. But they like it because it's made out of liver.
This is great. And these are also products that you recommended, Doc Wallach, last week when I asked the question about what can we do to get increase our chances for pregnancy. So we already have it in-house.
Okay, so I told you to take Arthrodex for pregnancy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the dog or the human?
For the human. for the human. And we have the collagen peptide too.
Okay.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, so I missed him recommending Arthrodex, but I did have somebody at one time say, well, is it safe for humans? So I went and opened up a brand new canister that we had here at the house, and I licked it, and it's not bad tasting, folks. It really is not. So if it comes down to a food shortage, it's something you can have on your shelves and use. So, and we've got the I-26 dog companion, which is a chewable. My son has even chewed them up a few times. So I love the fact that Dr. Wallach mistakenly took one because we have the I-26 that's a chewable that helps with digestive health, which is another thing I want to mention. And thank you, Lawrence, for coming on. And we are keeping you and your wife in our thoughts and prayers as you are expanding your family.
Thank you.
But folks, I know when I go trying to find some quality eggs, It's not easy right now. So we have a product that's called I-26 Hyperimmune. We have it in a powder. It comes in, yep, Dr. Wallach's got the powder there. It also comes in a chewable, and it also comes in capsules. This would be something, especially for those of you who like to be prepared, have this on your shelf so that you can make sure that even if you can't get physical eggs, you are getting the goodness that the eggs provide to your body. Okay, again, that's the I-26 Hyperimmune. Get with the person that invited you to this program and ask for information. There are some amazing videos out there that talk about the benefits of this product also. So be educated, be informed so that you know why we're recommending this product. Because once you see these videos or see information as to why we have chosen to bring this product into the longevity family, you're going to understand. Now, Dr. Wallach, we have a question here. It says, hi there, just a couple questions. We are cattle farmers in Iowa. My family just personally started with Dr. Wallach's products and protocols, and we have been doing natural health for so many years now. We love how much his products have in them, and compared to putting all that together ourselves, I was wondering if he has any recommendations or books for cattle nutrition, and also any companies he recommends for cattle supplementation. We obviously do always have salt and minerals out there for all of our livestock, but he's so knowledgeable in these things. I was wondering what he recommends these days. Thank you so much. So Dr. Wallach, we have plant-derived minerals in a granular form. Is that something that we can mix within their food?
Absolutely. The plant-derived minerals have 75 minerals in it. You can actually, I would go ahead, you get a salt block for your cattle, okay? But I would also, you could put that salt block in kind of a basket, and you can put the plant-derived minerals.
The bloomin' minerals.
Yeah,
so
the bloomin' minerals.
Mineral granules.
Yeah, the granules around that salt block. But then also, if you're making feed for your cattle, if you're buying feed that has to be mixed up and stuff, you can actually mix the bloomin' minerals in your mix, okay, for fattening, for market, and that sort of thing. All right. And also, if you have like dairy cattle and stuff like that, I like to put the plant-derived minerals in the water while they're being milked. Okay, they're standing at the stanchion, they're wondering what to do with all their time while they're being milked. They can, drink some of this water with the plant-derived minerals in it, and so that's a good thing.
Or okay, I'm gonna admit this, folks. I've milked cows, mini cows, in my lifetime, and I wish that I would have had some plant-derived minerals, the granules, to sprinkle over their alfalfa as we were milking them, because that's something they do. They stand there, they're eating the alfalfa, and that would just give them the extra nutrients that then gets into the milk that we are drinking and makes it even better. So I think that's a win-win situation, Dr. Wallach.
Yep, you're right there.
We have another question from Tanya. So Tanya has a 10-year-old male wolf dog, 150 pounds. This is a big boy, Dr. Wallach. And then a 5-year-old female wolf dog. And they both have started itching and having hot spots. So I feed them on a skin and coat salmon dry dog food. Previously, they gave them the beef due to they did not get a shipment. But do you have any recipe for a wolf dog that does not contain fowl in it? We are a farm, so meat products is not an issue. Thanks in advance.
Okay, yeah, I like the Arthrodex for these situations. The Arthrodex, and it's, ideally 1 scoop for 20 pounds of body weight. We get a 150-pound dog. I would go ahead and give it to start out with, say, 3 or 4 scoops, okay, of the Arthrodex. You're going to notice a huge difference in their skin, in their joints, their energy, their behavior. Everything will be improved immensely with that Arthrodex.
All right. And for skin, essential fatty acids are very important for skin health as well. So we can give our fur babies the EFA plus.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the is that like the top notch EFA product? Because I know we have the EFA plus and we have the ultimate EFA. The EFA plus comes in our healthy body packs.
That's correct. And the EFA plus and the EFAs come in our healthy brain and heart packs.
Well, the ultimate EFA and the EFA plus, yeah, they both come in the brain and heart packs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And so that's a lot of times when another thing you can do is use our hair, skin, and nails for human beings. Okay, hair, skin, and nails. Okay, it has all this collagen in it. Yeah. Yeah.
So we have 2 different forms of products that have the hair, skin, and nail phrase in the product title. And one is a powdered collagen in a canister like our Rebound that also has collagen, and then the nutrients that are needed to support healthy hair, skin, and nails. And then we also have it in a capsule form. And it's super easy to hide that in a little piece of cheese, little piece of meat. And they're also getting the gelatin from the capsule. So we don't want to just open it up and not let them have the capsule itself, because that's extra gelatin that's beneficial for why we're giving them the hair, skin, and nails, or anything, you know, that especially, I mean, connective tissue within the body. That gelatin, whether it's animal derived, which ours is bovine. Okay, I want to make sure that everybody's realized that we do not use a pork-based gelatin in our capsule. It's either bovine or a vegetable base. Okay. Another question, Dr. Wallach, and so back to the cattle, they are farmers. So I want to make sure that everybody realizes these Bloomin' minerals we have in 40-pound bags. So it's not like you're getting a little canister and you have to get 100 of them. We've got 40-pound bags that can be used in larger scaled operations. And these can be put in your garden also, so that the produce that you provide for your family from your garden is getting those minerals in the ground that the plants then can pull up into the plant itself and the produce that it provides, so that you are getting mineral dense food. It's not about calories. It's about nutrition.
Well said.
Yeah, so I'm trying to go through here and make sure that we have all of these questions answered, because I've got lots of questions here. Some of them are just comments saying thank you for this information. We appreciate all you do. Oh, here, someone wants to know, may I continue to consume health food carbonated beverages with tartaric acid and citric acid? These do not contain the phosphoric acid and sugar. They contain stevia. So for the carbonation, they're using tartaric acid and citric acid, not the phosphoric acid that sodas of the past or mainstream sodas occur. Is there a difference?
Is there a difference between shooting yourself in the head with a lead bullet or a copper jacketed bullet?
Well, they're both bullets, but you know, you're not going to die from lead poisoning with the lead bullet. I mean, with the copper jacket. Let's not go there, Dr. Wallach. Okay, so we just don't want carbonation. That carbonation
of any kind neutralizes
of any kind. It messes up with the digestive balance within your digestive system that then is used to break down the food so that the nutrients are bioavailable. And I haven't done the research into tartaric acid or citric acid in how it relates to calcium absorption, but I know for a fact that the phosphoric acid prevents that calcium absorption. So I myself wouldn't chance it, but we'll look into that more also. Oh, we got a hand back up here, Dr. Wallach, and I think I know who it is. Shantae, I know you're driving. Do you have a question for Dr. Wallach?
I have several questions, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to get signal enough to ask him after I.
Oh, and you're cutting out bad, anyway, my dear.
I'll try to.
So I'm going to turn your camera off, and maybe that'll give you some bandwidth, okay? Okay, go ahead and talk to us. Let's see if we can hear you now.
Okay, the first question is, I have a client who is started 90, and she has
No, you're breaking up too bad. We're not catching enough of what you're asking. If you can email me, Shantae, we'll get some answers for you. All right. And folks, go to askdoclive.com, use that contact us
now,
and we'll make sure that we get answers. You're fading in and out, and I can't make out what you're saying either. I'm sorry. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to scan through here. There's another question that's asked regarding migraine headaches. This individual's daughter and granddaughter both are getting them. She's sure that they are consuming gluten, but she doesn't remember what supplements you would recommend for somebody with migraines, Dr. Wallach. So we've got daughter and granddaughter, don't know exact ages, but let's go by 100 pounds. What would you recommend for somebody that is dealing with migraines?
Okay, no bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, rye, oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, no buckwheat. All that's got to go. And then per 100 pounds of body weight, one healthy brain and heart pack per month. If they only weigh 110 pounds or something like that, or 90 pounds, be half a dose of everything twice a day. The MSM, 3 of those twice a day, be 1 bottle a month per 100 pounds of body weight to help rebuild the skull, that sort of stuff. They need to eat, per 100 pounds of body weight, I want them to eat 2 eggs twice a day with soft yolks, not fried, not hard boiled. So they have the cholesterol for the brain to function properly. I want them also to take the synaptive, take 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month. That's going to let the brain cells talk to each other. And don't forget the memory effects, 3 of those twice a day. And if they're young, you may or may not want to use, the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. The Ultimate Daily Classic tablets will increase the blood flow into the brain. And so that's, something they may want to consider also.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And we have another question. Now, this is a human question, Dr. Wallach. This individual has a question in regards to pain with sexual intercourse. This person's been this woman, because that's probably going to make a difference, has been experiencing pain during intercourse for the last 5 to 7 years of a 17-year marriage with her husband, who passed away a little over a year ago. Now she is getting herself back out there, which, I applaud you for doing that. And she's attempted to have sexual intercourse with her fiance, but again, she's having pain. So Dr. Wallach, the urogynecologist suggested a laser procedure called Mona Lisa due to severe vaginal atrophy. She would like to know, what is your opinion? Because you have such good insight on what's dangerous and as far as procedures, and also because of your knowledge with dietary issues.
And she didn't give a weight?
Let's go with 150 pounds.
Okay, 150 pounds. So I want her to get rid of all the bad foods, a good food, bad food list, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, rye, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. And then I want her to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. I want her also to have our Xerafem. I want her to take 3 of those twice a day, Xerafem. And then I want her to have 3 eggs twice a day. Between the cholesterol and the eggs, which estrogen and progesterone are 95% by weight cholesterol. So she needs more female hormones. So she needs, this is one of the things I talked about earlier, where, you know, women want to be skinny and girly, and so they avoid animal fat and they avoid eggs and all that kind of stuff. And they're not getting the materials they need to make the hormones. So she needs to be eating those 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. I like mine either soft poached or soft scrambled in butter. And I would suggest for her again the Xerafem, 3 of those twice a day. It's 2 bottles a month. And let's see here. I would also want her to take the MSM, to take the collagen peptides, so she's having some collagen to repair and maintain all of the connective tissue and all the body parts and female parts and so forth. But the Xerafem is going to be very important for her.
So we're talking about pain with intercourse. Why would making sure that your hormones are being supported be important in this?
Well, the hormones make the tissues yearn for contact. They make the tissues resilient and not respond to contact with a pain marker. Okay, when you're healthy sexually, friction is a good thing. Okay, and so that means, that tells me right away she's not making enough hormones. She's not eating eggs. She's not eating butter. She's not eating cheese. She's staying away from, quote, the bad stuff, unquote, as the doctors told her. And losing a spouse, having a spouse die could make you think, I really got to be good because I saw it happen when he was eating all the bad stuff, blah, blah, blah. But she also needs the Xerafem because it tells her ovaries how to make the hormones. Okay, but she needs the cholesterol as a raw material to make the hormones. No statin drugs.
No, that's right. No statin drugs, because it's actually one of the side effects, which is kind of crazy. So I love my co-hosts because they write me notes and remind me of things that I might not be remembering at the time. And Ruth Ellen, she just puts a little plug in our ear, Dr. Wallach, the Woman's FX also. And with her being a certified aromatherapist, she's also recommending the clary sage essential oil, not essential fatty acid, essential oil, clary sage, that you can rub on your upper thighs and lower belly. Make sure that you put that in a carrier oil or in our unscented body lotion. I love that with just a couple drops.
Well,
and that will help with absorption of the calcium and the nutrients needed to help support the connective tissue that's within the area of the vagina and the uterus, yeah. Cervix, all of those parts that I'm supposed to know about, right? Well, I love the fact that we don't have to know everything, Dr. Wallach.
That's why we're a team.
Yes, that's why we are a team, and we are a family. With the goal of helping others. There's no greater success than having somebody that's been dealing with poor health for years give you a call and give you a great report. A report that they weren't getting even close to the results with a traditional approach. So folks, we highly, highly recommend that you take this information seriously. Get back with the person that shared this program with you, whether you're watching the replay or you're here live with us, and thank them for the information that you were able to hear today. Because using this information, there's a big difference between listening and hearing. You can listen to something and not hear what's being said. But when you hear something and you take action and put it into practice, then is when you feel the difference. And we invite you to feel the difference that the Longevity products gives. Because from experience, and I would not be here today promoting any of this if I did not have the experience of feeling the difference within a very short amount of time Migraines were one of the first things that went away for me, and I had been suffering with them since I was 8 years old. Dr. Wallach's formulas, his knowledge, the research that went into these formulas is presented in a way that the body can actually use and feel. And Dr. Wallach, I personally have to thank you on behalf of myself and my family, because I'm sure that there were times that my kids were like, I wish mom would be able to do this with us. And there were so many times I was like, I'm sorry, I can't do that. You know, when they wanted to go hiking, when they wanted to go playing in the snow, I had to say, I'm sorry, because I hurt too bad. And now I don't hurt like that at all. And I love the fact that when I bought the farm and we had that first snowfall, because we bought in March and then we got a dump of snow, I was out there playing with my son and my grandkids on the hills, sledding and running up and down the hills with no pain. Folks, it really is life-changing. It really is. And I remember vowing I would never buy a house with stairs. And the farm, 2 stories and a full basement, lots of stairs. And I loved it because I could run up and down without the fear of falling until I was stepping over a dog. But that's a whole nother story. And everybody, we just want to thank you so much for joining us here on Ask Doc Live. We're a program, we want to be a resource to you. If you are interested in any of Dr. Wallach's books, make sure you go to drjwallach.com. My co-host Heather there has the banner for Wellness Publications up as her virtual background, where you can get all of Dr. Wallach's publications, not just the books, but also CD sets. We're working on a brand new website that is going to be offering digital downloads of our CDs so that you can just go in, purchase it, get a digital download. I got a thumbs up from Pastor Deborah. Yes, yes. Because, you know, a lot of people don't have CD players anymore. And I love having instant access because I don't like to wait. So having those CDs and those audios have the ability to be downloaded and put them to work and helping people right away was very important to me. So that's one thing that I am passionate about, is getting hands and information into people's hands where they can use it and hear it. And I know that's Dr. Wallach's as well, which is why he's got at least 3 new books being published and released this year. And that's all I know about right now. I think there's another one that's in the making.
There's a 10 CD set coming out.
The 10 CD set that's coming out, which is really cool. Because with those 10 CDs, each one of them talks about a specific topic. So if you have somebody that has a certain condition, oh, I know exactly what I need to share with them because that CD is labeled with that condition and it's focused on it, and you can be really targeted on the information that you're giving them. And again, I'm working on getting that one as a digital download.
And also, that was a sort of a cross questionnaire between pharmacist Keith Abel and myself. So you're getting the pharmacist view of the issue, plus the naturopathic doctor view and the veterinary view of the issue.
Yeah, I love our community, Dr. Wallach. We have naturopathic doctors. We have medical doctors. We have surgeons. We have cardiologists. We have dentists and chiropractors.
And pharmacists.
And pharmacists, multiple pharmacists. And we all come together because we realize the importance of nutrition. It is not taught in medical school. Pharmacists get more nutrition training than medical doctors do.
Oh, yes.
And we fill that gap, which I absolutely love. And I'm going to bring up our Institute of Holistic Health again, because we have had so many doctors come through our program saying, wow, I wish I would have learned this in medical school. I have been a medical doctor. One of them, she had been a medical doctor for 20 years. And she says, looking back, all of the good that I could have done if I would have just known this information. Well, let's make sure that this information is known, folks. Let's do our part. Now that you've heard it, I am empowering you to share it. I am encouraging you to share it with anybody and everybody you know, not because you're trying to make a buck, but because you care from the heart. On behalf of myself, Rebecca Dukes, and my wonderful, wonderful co-hosts today, Nasima Omar, Heather Bowen, Ruth Ellen Sanchez, and the one, the only Dr. Joel Wallach, with a bachelor's in agriculture, a doctorate of veterinary medicine, 3 postdocs in pathology, and a naturopathic doctor. Thank you for watching Ask Doc Live. Get back with the person that shared this program with you and thrive. Thrive. Don't just survive. It is within your power to thrive. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Becca.
Yes, we'll see you next time. And so for those of you who are on with us and plug in each and every week, make sure that next week you check that email for your invitation, because the link is going to change. With the change of the new year, we have some amazing changes happening, and the link to get into this program for your safety and security is changing as well. So we love you all around the world, every state. I love the fact we've got Arizona, we've got Pennsylvania, we've got Washington, we've got Minnesota, we've got Texas. We have South Africa in the house. Hello, Albert. Yes, I'm learning it. And Albert's helping me too, Doc. So, folks, just be blessed. Have a wonderful 2023 and thrive. We'll talk to you later. Bye for now.